Hi, this is Janet, and this is my reading log for the Coretta Scott King award-winning book, Day of Tears, by Julius Lester. This book is not illustrated. It was published by Jump at the Sun, Hyperion Books for Children. Copyright date is 2005. It is a historical fiction. There are 176 pages, and it's appropriate for around age 10. This book is about the slaves and slave auctions that went on in the mid-1800s. It is told in dialogue form, so that the reader can get the perspective of all the characters, which was really interesting. I enjoyed that form. I'd never read anything like that before. The main character is Emma, who is a young slave girl. She's a house slave, and she takes care of her master's two young children, two young girls, around age 9 to 11, somewhere in there. And the master has gambled away all of his money and is having to sell most of his slaves to pay his debts. And he had promised not to sell Emma or her parents, but the slave auctioneer talked him into it, because if he got more money, then the auctioneer would get more money. So he ended up selling her, and just tells the story, like I said, from the different perspectives of the different characters. One thing that was interesting, the 3 days that the sale took place, it rained totally. I mean, a torrential downpour all 3 days. And the slaves called it God's tears, because as soon as the auction was over, the rain stopped. The plot of the story is how the one slave owner paid off his gambling debts, and the chain reaction that it caused. Excuse me. Setting is in the mid-1800s on a Georgia plantation. The theme of the book is slavery and the complete lack of control blacks had over their own lives. But then it showed the hope of freedom, because then there was the Civil War, and of course then they gained their freedom. I think this book would be good for children, because it gives a different perspective of what it was like for slaves, tells it from their side. I would recommend this story to children to inform them that life isn't always fair, that there will be heartbreak along with some joy. A life skill children could take away is to have compassion for one another. Just be kind. The story reminds me that some kids are treated very differently by others, just because of how they look, how they talk, how they act, not just skin color. Everyone has the same feelings of wanting to belong, and wanting to be loved. I would choose an activity and have them, have the students discuss how this book made them feel, angry, sad. Personally, this book made me angry, and it made me cry, but I thoroughly enjoyed this book. And then I would have them maybe draw a scene from the story that made them angry or sad. Thank you.